Hello, everyone. Author DL Tiller here, the Mistress of Horror, and welcome back to my live streams. It's Tuesday, so that means I'm here at 8:30 Eastern Direct Time, and we're going to be doing some sprints as usual. As you see, we always do three 30-minute sprints here with 4-minute breaks in between if there's some chatting to be done. If not, I just pop right on through my sprints. I'll be still reading because I have a group read that I'm middle of now. So, and I have to take notes. So takes me a little longer to read it because I'm taking notes as I'm reading it. So we can have stuff for the discussion. So that's what I'll be doing again tonight for this Tuesday stream and see how much further I can get into the book. I do plan to be finishing the book by Thursday, considering what I have left and the time that I have to read each day with my work schedule and homeschooling. So, that being said, that's what I'm going to jump in on. And other news, not much other news, but Obsessed released today. Of course it did. The ebook is out. The paperback releases on I want to say the 20th, so Saturday. It might be Friday though. Let me look at that. I think it might be Saturday. I have to double check that because it was like a window between it because I was uploading the format of the new file because I wanted the size of the book to be like a 5.25 by 8. So if you are more into physical books, you can get this as a physical book. It is a short story book, so keep that in mind. It's not really long. You know, I'm the short story queen. Uh, so if you like physical books, though, then it's more along the size of my Fractals tale. So if you don't mind that size book, then check it out for sure, physical. If not, you can obviously get it ebook, which if you have Kindle Unlimited, it is free through Kindle Unlimited, of course, and then only 99 cents. Like, that's not going to break your bank. For 99 cents, you can get this. And the paperback, I think, is like $6.60. I think it's the lowest I could get it. But yeah, you can check that out. It's out today. I'm going to play you the trailer if you missed it. It's a really short trailer. I actually have a even shorter trailer I released today, but this is the full one. It's like 10 seconds, 15. I don't know, something short. I think I want to say maybe 20 seconds. Anyway, here it is.
She is bloodlust. She is chaos. She is done being controlled. Ancient vampire Delata has one rule: take what she wants and burn the rest. If you're in the mood for bloodlust-filled, dark, romance, horror, and sensual vampirism, then grab a copy of Obsessed, now on Amazon.
So that is the trailer. It came out like about a week ago or so. I have a shorter one that's just quick and to the point for, so that it's out. But yeah. So that's where that is. That's what I have to talk about today. And then we're going to go ahead and jump in on the first sprint because that's been chatting for about 4 minutes. That's our usual time. Alrighty. So let me go ahead and get the first timer up here. I'm going to share a screen. I'll start with the end and the beginning. That's my 30-minute timer I'm used tonight. Big screen. All right, I will see you in 30 minutes. I'm going to probably put a little bit of Caliostro's music on to have something playing in the background. And I will see you in 30 minutes. If you pop in, then let me know what you're working on tonight. If you're just hanging and chilling, and be sure to hit that like button if you catch this on replay and or live. See you in 30 minutes. Happy writing and productivity. And that's time for the first sprint. We have a couple minutes to chat before we jump in on the second one. Oh my. See, I think how many pages did I get to read? Not too bad that time, about 20 pages. Taking notes slows me down, I tell you. But at least it's getting there. I still should be done by Thursday, though. If you're writing and working on something, let me know how you did in the chat. Oh my goodness. So get ready for 2026 because I have a lot of stuff planned to publish. I'm really trying to get stuff in order. Trying to make a schedule. I need to do that. The next stream is Sunday night at 6. So since I will be done the reading project, I'll be back to working on the writing stuff. But I'm trying to see. I need to make me a schedule for 26 since if you look at my writer's blog for this month, my end year wrap up, I talk about a lot of stuff that I plan to get written and published and all that stuff. So I'm like, okay, I still got a lot of stuff on me in personal life because I'm either trying to purchase a house or move and rent again. I really don't want to rent anymore. So seeing about buying a house, so that's a lot of work. Trying to prepare for that. So a lot of focus on that. So I like trying to have time to write is really hard to begin with because I homeschool and work full time on my business. So there's a lot to try to have time to write and then publish and all the things. But I'm going to do my best. So I need to make a schedule for that. I always have writing schedules, but that's not going to work for the amount of stuff I plan to start producing. So I need to step up my game a little bit. So I want to see what I can do with that. But on another topic, I saw a interesting video the other day. Just so happened to show up in my short feed, and it was, I don't know whose channel it is. I wasn't subscribed to the woman's channel, but I must have seen her videos in the past because it put it in my feed. And it's one of her older videos, and it was talking about some of the lies or stuff that people say to indie writers that's either, hogwash or otherwise, or also true. And she was talking about, I guess, from an editor's perspective, and she was talking about developmental editing. And I mean, I don't disagree. I don't agree. I don't fully agree as a writer and author with the notion that every writer should have a developmental editor. I don't believe that. And I say that, and she said so far in her video, she was like, well, if you feel your stories, this is where you want it, and this is finished where it is, and this and that, and you don't like critique, and you don't like criticism. And I'm like, first off, if you have writers who don't want a developmental editor, don't want to pay for developmental editing, and don't feel they need it, then they don't. You can't say every writer needs or should have a developmental editor. That's not true. That's an opinion, obviously. So when you speak about these things, you need to say, in my opinion, but you can't say, well, that's implied. No, it's not. That's not implied just because you're saying it out your mouth. It's how we use our words and make statements. If you make a statement and you don't utilize certain words in front of said statement, as in my opinion, and I believe, things like that makes it your opinion. If you state it as every author should have this or that, you're stating it as if it's a fact, and it is not. So I just didn't agree with that. There's nothing wrong if you get a developmental editor. Some writers do need a developmental editor. I'm not going to say every writer needs a developmental editor. Some writers, after writing for however many years they're writing, they have developed their style and technique, and they like their stories where they are. Now you say, well, they're going to fit someone. So not to say that, a development edit technically changes your story. It would help you develop it if it needs it. And I'm not, like, again, not saying that no one needs it. There's plenty of writers that do, and it has to be a choice, obviously. And the people who don't want it or feel they need it doesn't mean they don't like criticism. I think that that's a reach. Yes, there are going to be some writers who decide not to get a developmental editor, and then that it could possibly be because they don't like criticism. But if you are a writer, you have to, or you should, prepare yourself for criticism, because people are going to criticize you constantly. Constantly. So you do have to get yourself a good backbone. And if you are sensitive to dislikes of things that you created, then it's going to be a bit tough road for you, because everyone's not going to like what you write and put out, and they're not supposed to. They're not supposed to. The people that like what you write are the people that like what you write. That's just how it is. You know what I mean? And I'm definitely for all other types of editing. I am definitely for line edits and, copy editing, whatever other kind of editing helps to develop the and correct grammar. And, there's plot hole issues that could occur for people who need things like developmental editing. And I had paid a long time ago for a critique edit. Big waste of money I've ever spent. You know what I mean? Like, this person, I'm sitting there waiting for some kind of something for a critique. And if I pay you the portion of the edit, I paid for copy edit, my edits, and I paid for the critique edit. First off, she didn't do very well at the basic type of editing, because there were mistakes still that were on the first page. But besides that, her critique edit was too vague, and it also didn't include the main character of the story. So that critique edit was a waste of my money. So you didn't critique the story as a whole. You critiqued the female lead, who's the secondary character, because you liked her more. It's not what I asked you. I didn't pay you for your opinion. I was paying you to read it and pay attention, and then tell me, critique the story, not critique one character that you enjoyed. Like, you know what I mean? So that's why I felt kind of put out when I paid $500 just for the critique edit, and it was a waste of money. I never ever again would pay for a critique edit, obviously. And I have no interest in a developmental edit. Maybe before, when I used to write when I was in my, late teens, early 20s, and then my late 20s possibly. But I'm now 40, and I've been writing since I was a child, but then I didn't really get my writing self, until I really wrote stuff and published things, and have been writing for, 2 decades or so. I mean, I haven't been publicly published. I published when I was 19, but I was writing my poetry stuff basically. But I was traditionally published when I was 19 in book anthology. So, but my thing is, I didn't agree with the way she stated as if it was a fact. I'd really have an issue with when people state things as a fact that is not proven. Like, well, it's proven because the writers who did get development editors' books were better. That doesn't mean that. First off, it's going to be, when it's coming from one person, it's still going to be anecdotal. So your experiences maybe as an editor or something like that, sure. But that doesn't mean that is a fact. It's still an opinion. Well, there's a good amount of them. I don't really care about that. What I care about is if you said like all, you're saying it as if it's a fact that all, and no, they do not all. Now, when you first start out, that could be true. Now, if you said that, I would be in somewhat of agreement that if you first start writing and you first start preparing, you don't know as an indie author a lot of stuff, and even the technique-based things. So if she would have said beginner authors could use indie authors, she never mentioned traditional, because even traditional, writers and authors have developmental editors as well. You know what I mean? I even then going on older. And I'm not saying again that no one needs it. I just wouldn't be willing to pay because it costs. First, that was important. And if I'm going to spend my money, my hard-earned money on something, because I'm the one paying for it, I'm definitely going to focus on one of the most important aspects, which if I don't feel that I leave plot holes, if I go through all the other stages and no one pulls that I have a plot hole, if my story isn't developed well, if they don't understand things, if the story isn't making sense, if it doesn't seem to connect well, then I could see definitely would need a developmental editor. And since I don't have those issues, I have not come across or have been called on those issues. And I run through alphas, I run through betas, I run through the whole system that I need to, just like a traditional published author. And I have never come across those issues. Everyone isn't a storyteller. I believe anyone could be a writer if they study it. And I mean study it as in you studying. I don't mean necessarily you got to go to college or anything like that. If you take the time to learn to be a writer, you can learn to be a writer. But that does not mean everyone's a storyteller. So if you are a storyteller, sometimes that you love it, you can feel it, and you want to tell the story that you want to tell. But some people do need help. But again, she still should have worded it better. That was just my 2 cents on that. So I won't probably ever pay for a developmental editor because I do like my stories the way they are. I go over them so many times, but I have found my groove in the writer that I am. So I have lots of confidence in my writing, and I'm good at what I do. So I don't really need someone else poking and prodding at it, because to me that's insight that I don't need. Now, if I could get insight from, alphas and betas, and they need to catch something that I'm missing, that's a whole nother story that I will listen. So to say that it leads to like writers who don't like criticism, got nothing to do with it. I don't believe that has anything to do with it. Again, there are going to be people that they can't take criticism. They don't want to hear that their story needs work. But I believe those are outliers. Even if you have writers that are sensitive about their work, because I understand that they would be, because everyone is. But that being said, it's just not a every person thing. That's no way that would be true. Just saying. Anyway, that was my writer TED talk for the day. All right, so let's go on and get on to the next sprint. Let's see, what do I have lined up here? I suppose I'll do one of my werewolf ones. Might as well. I'm always in the mood for werewolf. Let's be honest. Okay. We'll just start over. There we go. All right. Let me load this back on the screen. Remove you and add you. There we go. All right. So let's go and get another 30 minutes in. And I will see you in 30. Whatever you're working on, take those 30 minutes and plug away. And I'll see you in 30. Happy writing and productivity. And that's time for the second sprint of the night. Let's see here. I think I got about 15 pages that time. All right, well, moving along. It's only I think the book's only 244 pages, so. But notes, man, the notes take forever. I would have finished this book a long time ago. I'm a speed reader, but I gotta really take notes. So I gotta stop and then type up notes, blah blah blah. Usual with reviews, especially discussion-based reviews, anyway. But there's that. If you want to let me know how you did, then you know what to do. Leave it in the chat or in the comment section if you're watching this on replay. I think we could just jump right into the third sprint, so that way we finish about on time, a little bit early maybe, since we don't have a big crowd tonight. Anyway, let me change it back to the 30-minute timer. Let's see. I'm gonna switch to, let's see which ones I have down here. Let's do one of my creepy ones. That'll work. All right. There's music going. Use pill. Alrighty. I'm gonna start the next timer. Go straight into that, so we can get some more work done, back to back. All right, I'll see you in 30 minutes. Happy productivity and writing. And that's time for the third sprint of the night. I did get interrupted with reading on the last one. My daughter came in and she wanted to work on one of the clay projects that we do for school. So I was like, we can do an extra one today. So doing about half of the sprint, we made some flowers, purple and pink is her favorite color. So of course that's what we had to make the flowers. That's cute. But yeah, so anyway, I did get some stuff accomplished with the reading. I should be able to finish it by Thursday, so that way I can have all my notes done and ready for the group read. So that is coming along. And I will see everybody on Sunday, actually, for the next sprint stream writing. I'll be back to writing that night. All the reading will be done. And we got holiday next week coming up. My newsletter comes out on Monday. If you are not subscribed to the newsletter, now's the time to do that. I have a few newsletter swaps, so there are some other authors' books that'll be in this month. Of course, I usually try to have someone, either another indie author, or I have books that I recommend that are usually free on KU or something like that to download. So do be sure to check that out. If you missed my writer's vlog, it did come out on Sunday. It is on my channel currently if you want to check it out, and so you can hear about all the things I have coming for 26 and also different changes on the channel. If you want to check out what I newly put up in the shorts series, then be sure to click on that and check it out as well. Right now I'm running the Zodiac Supernatural series, real quick type things. And of course the Obsessed trailers are on my shorts as well. So if you haven't gotten a copy of Obsessed, it is now available over on Amazon, on KU, and also 99 cents is pretty low, but the paperback will be out on the 20th, which is Saturday. If you are more into the physical type books like myself, I like to have physical and ebook. So check that out. And I will see you again on Sunday at 6. And remember, my Tuesdays are now at 8:30. So I know it's a slight hour change, but homeschooling moms got to do what homeschooling moms got to do. And I'll see you then. And as always, stay scared. Ah!